The morning sun streamed through the blinds of Mira's bedroom, painting warm patterns on the hardwood floor. Valentine's Day had arrived, and though the city buzzed with joy, Mira's heart beat with unease. She glanced at the empty side of the bed, where Damien's pillow lay untouched. He had left early for an alleged urgent client meeting. But tonight will be different, she reassured herself. He had promised they'd have dinner at Amore, the same restaurant where they shared their first date 3 years ago. Mira clung tightly to that promise, despite the nagging doubt in the pit of her stomach. After all, wasn't love supposed to be about trust and patience? But trust had become a luxury in their relationship. Ask yourself, have you ever held on to a promise even when everything told you it was already broken? What made you stay? Evening arrived with golden hues spreading across the sky. Mira's heart raced as she styled her thick black curls and slipped into the red dress Damien once adored. The crimson fabric hugged her curves perfectly, reminding her of the woman she used to be, confident, radiant, and worthy of love. The table was already booked, and she imagined Damien's surprised smile when he saw her tonight. Maybe this was the start of something new for them. Her phone buzzed, snapping her out of her daydream. "Don't wait up. Important meeting tonight." Her stomach dropped. Mira stared at the message, disbelief mingling with a familiar ache in her chest. She read it again, hoping she'd misunderstood. Not tonight, she thought desperately. Not again. Her fingers hovered over the keypad before she sent her reply. "Are you serious? You promised we'd spend tonight together." The response came quickly. "Sorry, babe. I'll make it up to you. You know how work is." Mira's heart cracked, the shards cutting deep into her resolve. Imagine being Mira right now. Would you confront him immediately? Or brush it off and pretend it didn't hurt? How many times would you let someone dismiss your feelings before walking away? "No," Mira said aloud, surprising herself. She wasn't going to let Damien's neglect ruin her night. She stood up, the fabric of her dress swirling around her legs as determination replaced disappointment. If he didn't want to celebrate her, then she would celebrate herself. With a newfound resolve, Mira booked a table for one at Amore and grabbed her keys. The soft ambiance of Amore welcomed Mira as she stepped through the glass doors. Candlelight flickered across tables adorned with rose petals, and the rich aroma of garlic and herbs wafted through the air. She followed the hostess to a cozy table near the window. Mira was determined to enjoy this evening, alone or not. But as she settled into her seat, a familiar laugh cut through the noise of clinking glasses and soft conversations. Her breath caught. There, in the far corner, sat Damien. He leaned forward, his hand resting intimately on the hand of a stunning woman dressed in midnight blue. They were laughing, a deep, carefree laughter that Mira hadn't heard from Damien in months. Her pulse roared in her ears. Is this really happening? Imagine yourself in Mira's shoes. Would you confront him immediately or wait to gather more information? How would you handle seeing the person you love betray you so openly? Mira stood, her heels clicking sharply against the polished floor as she walked toward their table. She refused to be invisible. Not tonight. Damien's eyes widened in shock when he saw her approaching. Panic flickered across his face. "Mira?" he blurted, his voice shaky. The woman beside him frowned. "Who's this?" Mira smiled coldly, though rage burned beneath her calm facade. "Oh, just the woman who thought she was your girlfriend." The woman's eyes widened. "Wait, girlfriend? Damien, you said you were single." Damien stammered. "It's not what it looks like. Mira laughed bitterly. Let me guess. You're going to say this is a business dinner, right? She leaned closer, her voice low but deadly. Funny. I didn't know deceit was part of your corporate strategy. A few diners glanced in their direction, curiosity flickering in their eyes. The woman stood abruptly, grabbing her purse. You're pathetic, she spat at Damien before storming out. Mira watched her leave, satisfaction mingling with heartbreak. Stop here. Would you continue to berate him or leave with your dignity intact? How would you reclaim your power in this moment? Damien reached for her hand. Mira, please, I can explain. She pulled away sharply. Don't bother, I'm done. The weight of those words lifted something inside her. For years, she had carried the burden of Damien's emotional neglect, gaslighting herself into believing things would change. But now, clarity washed over her like a tidal wave. She turned on her heel and walked away, each step filled with newfound strength. The cool night air kissed her skin as she exited the restaurant, leaving Damien and his lies behind. The city lights sparkled against the dark sky, a reminder that life goes on, even after heartbreak. Wrap up. Have you ever walked away from a toxic relationship and felt freer because of it? What did you learn about yourself in the process? Share your stories of resilience in the comments. Let's celebrate strength, self-love, and the courage to choose ourselves over deceit